Our next guest runs a food and media empire and will give us her view on food prices, consumers, and much more. Joining us right now is chef, restaurateur, and award-winning TV host Lidia Bastianich. Her latest book is Lidia's The Art of Pasta, and her new PBS special debuts tomorrow evening. It's Lidia Celebrates America, a nation of neighbors. Lidia, first of all, welcome. It's great to see you.
Oh, pleasure.
We've had you on a lot of times over the years, and you are somebody who recognizes that food brings people together, that it's a unifying thing in all of our lives. It makes our lives better, and we completely appreciate that. Because we're a business network, let's start a little bit just talking about food inflation, because it's been a big issue. We had the Secretary of Agriculture here earlier this morning. Where is food inflation right now? What do you see in your restaurants? What do you see from the perspective of the consumer, what they can and can't afford right now?
Well, food is up all over for the restaurants, wholesale, retail, and everybody's feeling the pinch. You know, if it costs me X amount, I have to run a business. Therefore, my markup has to be decent, not over, but everybody's conscious about it. And, you know, cooking, knowing how to cook the right thing, buying the right thing in season could all sort of help you through this process.
So what do you do as somebody who has been running restaurants for years, who knows how to navigate these things? What do you yourself do?
Well, buy seasonally, number one. And use a lot of the kind of legumes, the dry things, you know, things that I remember my grandmother cooking, you know, she would watch, she would measure everything. It wasn't that abundant after war, the day after. And so today we kind of look the same, long cooking technique, the secondary cuts of meat, braising it a long time. And you know what? People are liking it, and people are getting in the kitchen. You know, in self-defense it might be, but really getting at the table, sitting with the family, and putting some good food. And it doesn't have to be a prime rib. You know, it could be a good plate of baked pasta, and or just a soup, secondary braised meats with some vegetables next to it. So, you know, planning well, buying well, and being conscious.
Your latest special, the one on PBS premiering tomorrow, is really interesting because it gets at the heart of food being something that can really bring communities together. What did you get at with this? It's called A Nation of Neighbors.
Absolutely. We are a nation of neighbors. And sometimes, you know, you feel all kinds of, you hear being maligned, our nation's being maligned and whatever, but it's not so. Out there, there's a lot of good people. And what keeps, I think, America together is this feeling of neighborhood. You know, again, I remember as I was a child, you know, in a small town in Italy, one road, all the houses, we knew everybody. My mother wasn't home, I would go to the neighbor, they would feed me. And this is what's happening all over America. People are caring about the neighbors, whether it's in California, I went in Portland, I went in Denver, and whether it's a restaurant. You know, there was a restaurant called the same restaurant in Colorado. And there, you can pay for your food. You can go in. If you're hungry, they'll feed you. But you can work, you can peel potatoes, you can wash dishes, you can serve. So you can, or if you produce tomatoes or whatever, you bring the extra and they feed you. So all kinds of concepts really to help our neighbors and to really, because at the basis of our life is sitting together at the table and nourishing each other if we can. Helping those that have maybe less than us.
You also went to California right after the Los Angeles wildfires. What did you see there?
Oh, that was really moving. They took me right through the whole neighborhoods. And it's no reservation is a concept where food is cooked, but it's cooked in an appreciative way of the people that need it. It is not a box of food, here you are, eat what you can. It's actually setting up a table, having invitation, having some good music, and appetizers, main course, served. And it was wonderful to see those people that maybe lived in a tent or lived in a hotel to come together at the table with their neighbors. And you know what? They would bring little things from home. You know, like a pot of coffee, Turkish coffee, and whatever, all different nationalities. It didn't matter. That table was really where the heart was.
It is Thanksgiving week, and we're getting ready for Thanksgiving dinners everywhere. The good news is a Thanksgiving dinner itself is actually cheaper this year than it was last year. Part of that is turkey prices down about 17%. What tips do you give people for not only pulling together that Thanksgiving meal, but what makes it special and how you do it?
Well, it's giving. That's what Thanksgiving is. It's using your oven a lot, you know, because especially if you have a large family, make sure that whatever you plan, you put it in, you use the oven, whether it's vegetables, whether it's the appetizer. So nice, again, a big tray of baked pasta as an appetizer. Put your vegetables, all mixed vegetable, on a tray, in the oven, roasted. And of course, the turkey. The turkey, you know what I do with the turkey to make it a little bit special and a little bit Italian? I take balsamic vinegar, I reduce it, you know, the one, not the expensive one, the one in the stores. And I reduce it with a little bit of rosemary or honey to like molasses. And in the last half hour of the roasting of the turkey, I brush the turkey with that kind of balsamic molasses. And it becomes mahogany and it has a little sweetness. So a nice little tip to make your turkey delicious, beautiful, and a little Italian.
Lidia, thank you for coming in today. I think we're all looking forward to sharing this time with our families, and we appreciate you coming in and joining us today. Lidia Bastianich.